Kia Joorabchian, do you remember him? Yes, that's the agent of Joshua Zirkzee. Apparently has got an agreement in place already with Juventus, and this deal is moving fast. And in fact, according to Italian reports coming out late last night, has got a big impact on what happens with Victor Osimhen as well. Details on both of them deals. There is more news today as well about Malacia. That's your transfer front. We're going to cover that as well. We've got Ruben Amorim's press conference, the embargoed version of that as well. And of course, we are on weather watch for the Liverpool game today. We should be looking ahead and thinking how Manchester United can counter what Liverpool are going to offer today. And we're all a little bit worried, but we're all a little bit worried to think more about whether or not the game is actually going to be on, weather being the key word right there, because it is bucketing down snow right now. Some of the videos and some of the pictures, in fact, just so you've got an idea of what it is like in Manchester right now, this is the view that I have seen already today. And let's not forget, Manchester is more inward than what Liverpool is. We are not as west as Liverpool are right now. That is the look of Manchester right now. Covered, caked in snow. We've got about an inch and a half of snow on us. There are worse places. Liverpool's airports and Manchester United airport has shut down for several hours today, just while the snow is coming down. They have closed the runways for anyone arriving or trying to leave Manchester or Liverpool. So it gives you an idea of where the weather is actually at and how severe the situation is right now. Now, we're expecting decisions to come a few hours before the game at least to stop people travelling. So I'm thinking round about 9-10 o'clock we may know a little bit more. We have got the paper round on Football Talk straight after this show, so we might have an update on that and where we're actually at with the Liverpool game. But we're getting into all of the Manchester United news first, and of course, as updates come to us on the weather side of things, we will bring you all of the information needed and required, especially if there's people actually travelling today. There'll be people in the chat that are actually going to the game today, so yeah, make sure everybody stays safe first and foremost, and we'll keep you updated with everything that's happening with the game as of now. But it's bleak, to say the least, in Manchester. Liverpool even worse, so you get the picture. Give the video a like. Hopefully the likes will clear up the snow. Make sure you've subscribed to Forever United TV, and let's get into the news and what's going on. And I did start the show by talking about Kia Joorabchian. Yes, that is the agent of Joshua Zirkzee. We know that name well because that was a name right at the top of the negotiations in bringing Joshua in the summer. And this has just been one nightmare performance after another. The odd little moment for Joshua Zirkzee where he scored a couple of goals. The Everton game springs to mind as his best moment for Manchester United. But other than that, he's not fitted in well with Ten Hag's system. He's definitely not fitting in well with Ruben Amorim's system. And needs must, and where United are in the league right now tells you that the club are looking for suitors for Joshua Zirkzee. We have looked at all of the details of possible reports from Italy talking about this over the last few days and brought you as much detail as possible. But from last night, and the report actually saying from the Gazzetta dello Sport again, the Italian side of things, is that Kia Joorabchian, obviously well known over there in dealing with lots of multiple deals, obviously as an agent anyway, but he has said to have already spoken with Juventus, and Joshua Zirkzee is fully on board with moving to Juve. We've said that before, but the agreement is actually already in place for him. He is happy with the terms, he is happy with everything that's going on. Now, this has not definitely been sanctioned by Manchester United yet. That's where we're at, but there are more reports coming out again from the Italian side of things regarding Napoli and their situation with Victor Osimhen. Now, the Osimhen side of things is starting to escalate as well now. The problem United have got with this is they need to move and move very, very quickly. There is a little bit of a tug-of-war situation going on, and there is a standoff going on. I'll go into details on it in a moment on the Osimhen side of things. But regarding Zirkzee, Manchester United will and are willing to let him go. They want obligations on every single deal, is the report this morning. They want to have obligations after the loan, so money is coming in so United can balance books for the end of the season. But Manchester United are willing to let Joshua Zirkzee go to make room and make way for Victor Osimhen. Kind of strange right now, considering that we're trying to move Marcus Rashford out. You'd have thought that would have made way, but that just gives you some that just makes you think, as to what Manchester United are actually planning in this window, and doing the digging and doing the research and doing everything that's going on right now. So when I'm looking into these reports on Joshua Zirkzee, I can see this move definitely happening one way or the other. He just doesn't fit, and United need to make space. We have said that we do need to bring someone in. That player would obviously be Victor Osimhen. Manchester United have accepted, and Ruben Amorim has accepted, that obviously Marcus Rashford isn't going to be part of the squad anyway. So when we look at this as there's 2 players missing, really, with 6 games in a row without Marcus Rashford, United have got used to actually not having him around match days, and we're looking at this as one player leaving Manchester United in Joshua Zirkzee to make way, because Rashford is done. And everything that we've been reporting on the last 2 days pretty much says that. So we're going to leave Rashford out of this one to now and concentrate on this. But the other side of this, I'm just going to read the report on what's actually happening with the Osimhen side of things right now, and this is the important bit. So this is another report coming from Italy. Manchester United are internally exploring a strategy to sign Victor Osimhen this month. United's idea is to try and agree a deal with Napoli for a discount on his £62 million release clause. Now, we've all known about that. It's a pretty good deal as it is, but United want to try and get more off. Of course, we're owned by Inos. United are serious about Osimhen and are ready to sacrifice Zirkzee to sign him. However, PSG are now also moving for Osimhen. That's where the plot thickens and causes a problem. Now, we know Manchester United's top left wing back, Manchester United's top target is a left wing back. And we know that we want Mendes. Ruben Amorim wants Mendes. Just so happens that Mendes is at PSG. PSG also want Victor Osimhen. They can offer more to Osimhen because he's got Champions League football guaranteed and probably multiple trophies guaranteed over in France in Ligue 1. What can United do? How can United convince someone like Osimhen to come to them when you've got PSG? Are we just hoping that the lure of Manchester United's history and the stance and standing of this football club and how big we are is enough to bring Osimhen in? Well, we're about to find out how good Inos really are with negotiating. So, where Zirkzee is gone, this is probably just leaving room, and they're going to finance this package later on into the summer with an obligation or option or whatever it may be. More than likely with Zirkzee, an obligation. Now, Manchester United going for Napoli. The other side of this would be that United have already done a deal with Napoli for Scott McTominay and are in good relations with the Italian giants, because they did get Scott McTominay for a decent package and a very, very good price. So United are probably working off what they've done. And when we look at reports and when we look at everything that's gone by before with United and how we've actually dealt with clubs, the relationships built with clubs when looking at certain players, and we look into just simply on the surface, the transfer deal done and everything like that, there's more to it. So you go out, you sell a player, thank you very much, you've got a good player, they move on, we move on. It's not, it's the relationships that you build behind the scenes and what happens in negotiations and how you deal with the clubs. And this is what all football clubs do. They'll send delegations out to speak to certain people. It's like when, for instance, Murto went out to Saudi Arabia. Problem we had with that was Murto was useless. And he went to build relationships over there so we could possibly work together in the future. United doing what they did with Scott McTominay could be key to any deal happening here. Look, I don't know the relationships between every single club. Obviously, we can only work off what we know. The price that they got for Scott, and obviously last night Scott was smashing it again. He's been their best player pretty much all season, according to all of the Italian reports. And again, player of the match last night in their game against Fiorentina. He's absolutely killing it over there. So yes, you could say that it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter how Scott's playing. Napoli and United have done the deal, and it doesn't matter. Relationships are not going to determine what happens with an Osimhen deal in the future. But it helps. It goes a long way as to speaking to someone direct or knowing a point of contact at a football club and saying, look, what is the minimum? What can we do with this? What can happen? Can we actually work Marcus Rashford in on this deal? Is it simply a case of Manchester United will subsidise a certain amount of wages and let Rashford go? If we are willing to pay a certain amount of wages for Marcus Rashford, and you take him on loan, for instance, just with an option to buy. Nothing to do with Osimhen, but you take Rashford on loan, we'll subsidise some of these wages if you can lower the price a little bit for Victor Osimhen. It's things like this that get negotiated, and it's things like this that get discussed in in deals like this. And I feel like this is where Manchester United and Inos now, with the structure we've got in place and the people we have, I would feel a little bit more confident that this is happening. We've heard all the reports that United are definitely in for players in January. I don't know how we make or sanction Osimhen and Mendes without getting money for anybody else. And obviously the window, and there will be plans within the window later down the line, but it does look like United are concentrating on trying to get targets in as well as out very quickly. So I think if they make their stance very clear early on in this window, like I said yesterday, if you let things drag on, the player just thinks, well, they're not willing. They're not that desperate for me. They don't want me that much if they're not going for me straight away. Think of the amount of games that we've got to play in January yet. Yes, we've got a bit of a break from now to Arsenal, which is next Sunday. But then after that, it's 2 or 3 games every single week till the end of January. And we could do with someone in very, very quickly, especially if, like we just said there, that Joshua Zirkzee deal to Juve is very, very close and could happen very soon. So really, when you look at everything that's in the balance right now with Osimhen, Zirkzee, Rashford, there is a lot of talking going on, and there's probably a lot of overtime being worked right now, but this is going to have to be this day by day to get this deal done. It's very complex and complicated. PSG being involved in this with Mendes hanging on as well on the other side of things just puts a spanner in the works right now. And I think United will have to make a decision. Will PSG leverage Mendes over Osimhen onto Manchester United, as in, like, well, we want Osimhen. Simple as. That's what they're looking at. They obviously have to move Mawani out as well, which is why speed bodes well for Manchester United in this situation, and they need to get this deal done very, very quickly. So that's everything that's happening on that side of things as well. We gave you the news last night as well about Marcus Rashford being a target for AC Milan as well. This is all starting to do the rounds right now. So as it stands, we've got the possibility of Rashford going to 2 other Italian clubs. There was a small report about Rashford going to Fenerbahce as well, but nothing has been moved around for that one. I can't see that happening. Not with Jose there anyway. I don't even think Jose Mourinho rated Rashford that high. I think he said he could be a great player, but we've all seen the interview about him and what he is. I don't think he wants to have him anywhere near his team personally. You could say that's the same thing for other owners of football clubs, for the Italian ones, for instance, that we've spoken about in Napoli and obviously in AC Milan last night. But still, you would think that them, if the wages are subsidised and they can afford him, then certain clubs, I mean, it could be the case with Fenerbahce. I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm just going off what we've read and what we've seen on the videos of Jose Mourinho before talking about Rashford. I don't know. If he's for nothing, and it's easy for the club to bring someone like that in, maybe Jose does take him. Maybe he does take him and think that that's an angle. But I don't think Rashford would go there. That's the other side of things. You've got Marcus Rashford, who thinks he is what he is, and obviously will determine a lot of what happens in this window and where he ends up. So let's just see. I think Rashford going out on loan anywhere in Italy at a decent club is all right for him, because he'll still have an option to move to a bigger club in the summer. And I think this is where it's all being pushed towards right now. So Joshua Zirkzee going out on loan with an obligation would help Manchester United financially, because they've got that guaranteed money at the end of the season. And what they then do with Osimhen is somehow make this deal happen. I really do think that it's not so much a swap. I don't think Napoli want Rashford, per se, straight out the box right now. I'm guessing. I mean, I don't know. They might do. They might be happy with a straightforward swap for both players. But the way I'm looking at it right now, I think there could be more negotiations in on Rashford going in on loan, and then being free again from Napoli in the summer, but Napoli not having to pay much of his wages from now until the end of the season, and United getting subsidised on that for doing that with Osimhen's price tag in bringing him in January, if that makes sense. That's just me spitballing and putting my ideas out there, but I'm guessing all of these different permutations and everything that could be out there, stipulations within deals and everything like that, are being discussed and negotiated right now, and it is going to be very, very busy for Manchester United. I'm going to come to the chat and get your thoughts on this right out the bag. We have 1,900 people in the room, 200 likes. Thank you, everybody. Keep your likes coming in. Make sure you have subscribed to Forever United TV. We're on the march to 70,000. It is match day, or is it? The updates will keep on coming in, everybody. We will obviously put anything up on FUTV on our Twitter feed as well regarding the weather and the game itself today. So if anything comes up, please do obviously check out our Twitter page. We will be live right after this on Football Talks as well. So if anything comes up with that, then we will keep an eye on it. I know we have got Liverpool fans and we have got Man United fans in the chat as well today. So yes, let's just pray that the game is on, because we all want to be watching football. But to be honest, the way it's looking at the moment, it could be anything right now. It really could. Michael O'Connor with a super chat. Thank you. Happy New Year, Adam. And of course, Kaz, your man in the morning with you're the man in the morning with all the news. Not a happy one yet for United fans, but a new year brings new hope until the next episode. Yep. Until the next episode, we'll see what that is. Babs is saying, how is the snow in Liverpool? Adam, have you seen how many tickets are still available for the Southampton game? It's shocking. Not surprised, mate. Thursday night football. Who wants to be going to Old Trafford on a Thursday night to watch Premier League? Honestly, right now, the fixture list is killing United. The standard of football is killing United. And, of course, the prices are killing United in what they're doing right now. It's absolutely crazy. Good morning to everybody who is just joining us as well. We have just updated you on the situation with Joshua Zirkzee, what his agent is saying, and where we're at with Osimhen and Rashford and that little trio there. You could make it a quartet with the Malacia situation as well right now, because there is even more reports coming from the Italian papers this morning about Malacia being ready to go to Juventus as well. They may not rush this through. The Malacia situation, just to keep you updated on that, is that we are in a no-rush situation from Juventus' side of things, and they will wait till the end of the window. They will just do everything. The main priority right now for Thiago Motta is Zirkzee and getting him done, and it looks like that is moving the fastest out of any deal possible with Manchester United, either in or out. That's where we're at with that. But what we're at right now, where we're at right now with Malacia is United obviously still needing a left back. We've got games, like I said, in January. He could be key for United, Malacia. He could be key in just giving us an option on that left-hand side going forward. And until United have that left wing-back situation rectified, I don't know if they're going to risk losing to Malacia just yet. So it's one to keep an eye on, definitely. United didn't spend a lot of money on Malacia, which is a godsend right now. And obviously, he isn't on massive wages either, which is a double bonus for United. Because obviously, with Malacia, with any Man United player, we're finding it difficult because of the wages that they're on, first of all, and then players not wanting to leave them wages. And the price we've actually paid for him. Are we actually looking to make money on these players? Look, I think there is a chance we could actually just make or even draw even on Malacia. We sell him, I think we bought him in for, what was it, I think 12, 14 million, I think, with add-ons or something like that it worked out at. So Malacia really, even if you got 10 million for him right now, 3 years into his deal, I don't think we're bothered. I think he's got 2 years left on top of that. He's not on much wages, but if we can make 10 million for Malacia at the age he is, I think that is a good deal for United right now. And 10 million could be massive for us when it comes to using that money in going for, say, Osimhen. I know 10 million to 50 to 60 million counts for nothing, but still, when you add what we've spoken about, what Inos has saved through all of these cuts, we've possibly been able to move Casemiro on, get Joshua Zirkzee off the books with a commitment to buy. Whatever happens with Marcus Rashford, United can obviously then look at dealing with Napoli like the way that I've just said. You can obviously look at this in another way as well. Like, you could just try and loan out or bring back Osimhen. I mean, I don't know what it is or what deal has to be hit. Do they want the money now? Or can Manchester United negotiate in, look, can we commit to taking Osimhen on loan? We'll give you a loan fee up front and then commit to an obligation of a certain amount, 100% in the summer. There's lots that can be discussed with these deals. But just to round up the first 20 minutes there of the show and just to keep you completely in the loop as to what's happening, United 100% in on Osimhen. That is definitely something they're negotiating and trying to make happen. We know about Rashford. He could be going anywhere right now. It's more than likely Italy or Germany from the reports on a loan deal. Malacia to Juve will definitely happen if United feel comfortable by the end of the window with their left wing-back situation, which then brings in PSG, who are a bit of a problem because they want Osimhen as well. And I've got Mendes, who we want desperately, according to sources, and what Ruben Amorim wants on that left-hand side, which could be key. And I think a decision may actually happen in this window that Ruben Amorim, Man United, will have to make in, like, what's more important, left wing-back or a forward? Because let's not forget, like, if you definitely want that left wing back and you're willing to sacrifice that forward for now, and then that just brings in the crazy idea of, like, letting Zirkzee go and a player in that forward position missing for United, and I don't know how we cover that. But left wing back, you may lose Osimhen to PSG, but you still got Gyökeres in the summer, which United can go back in for. So there is a few different ways that this could work out, and obviously Manchester United are looking at everything right now. But as of January, these deals are all still on right now. So let's just see how this goes. Let's see how this pans out, and we'll take it from there. Thank you for all of the likes. So over 2,200 in the room with us right now. Mega for a Sunday morning show. Everyone's excited. Everyone wants to know what is going on with the game itself, with the weather, and everything else that's happening right now. Let's just check out some comments. Adam, you're working very hard. Keep it going. You deserve all the success from this. Thank you, mate. Love that. Why not sell Malacia for 10 million and replace him with Alvaro Fernandez for 16 million? That's not a bad bit of business. Almac, no, it's not. But United want Mendes, and he is the top target. And that's where Manchester United are at right now. I feel like we are going for the player that Ruben Amorim wants more than the obvious deal to what we can see on the side. Zagrus says, why the heck would United buy Osimhen over Gyökeres? Even Vegas was scoring in Turkey. Not to the same degree, and let's not even compare Osimhen to Vegas. You lost that conversation right there, mate, in mentioning them two names in the first sentence. Come on. Napoli are notoriously tough to deal with. I would be surprised if we could get Osimhen on loan with a discount. It all depends what we can give them. I think this is where we're at with it. And again, like, it all comes down to how good Inos are, and like everybody's watching them. It's like, you've done everything you possibly can to make money. So where are you going to spend that money? I mean, everyone's watching them right now. BE says, still can't believe we paid 72 million for Højlund and 85 million for Antony. We could have rebuilt the team with that kind of money. These transfers alone sum up our club for you. Yeah, they do. And unfortunately, I don't like to talk about them deals. I've done plenty of it in the past, but it is setting Manchester United back right now. It really is. And I feel like we are in a position where we are struggling because of them deals. And we will never replace them players for the same sort of value. We won't get them we won't sell them players, for anywhere near that price. I'm not looking to sell Højlund, by the way. I just think that Manchester United will have to fully commit to him at the football club and back him. But the only way that Højlund will improve at United is if someone else comes in. And that has to be another quality striker. One of the victors would be nice. No updates on any of the other players yet in the market, i.e. Lindelof, Eriksson, Bayindir, in fact, Casemiro, Antony. No updates on them. We just know that United are open to offers for all of them players, so nothing on them. The key players in play right now for United are Rashford, Malacia and Zirkzee. They're the ones that everyone's talking about. And we may see some movement pretty soon on the loan situation with academy players. And that will definitely tell us something in terms of how Manchester United see the window and what space we've got. If we are able to afford to let academy players go out on loan, then expect something to be happening coming the other way. That's what I would say on that. But look, we do need to move forward from this. We're going to talk about Ruben Amorim. He's got plenty of quotes out talking about the game, talking basically about life in general, actually. I've got this little clip here for you now on Ruben Amorim and what he said in the embargoed version of his press conference about how hard it is at Manchester United right now.
Yeah, you can see in my face, you can compare the way I arrived and now. Of course, when you are, there's a lot of pressure. And for me, it's more the proud and also the performance. I think it's harder when we don't perform well, because when I arrive, I explain everything before. Even when you guys were talking about after Everton about the top 4, I explained. So I was expecting this, but it's hard to cope with all the problems here in the bad performance, and the losses is really hard. It's supposed to be really hard. The only thing that can help me is the training with the players, and I also have my family now here, so it's so much different and can help me a lot.
Can I ask when they arrived, Ruben?
27 was a good day to arrive.
This happens to every manager at Manchester United, doesn't it? It's like they come in, all smile, fresh face, can't wait to get going. A couple of months in, the face looks like they've been taken through a grinder. Now, he's still looking quite decent, Ruben, to be honest. No greys are coming through yet that I can see in that pre-match press conference. But I think he's fully admitting of everything that is in front of him right now, the task at hand at United. And it is hard for him. He's saying there, he's opening up to everybody. And I think this is where the United fan base can actually relate to Ruben Amorim, and that he understands what's actually going on at Manchester United right now. He understands that it is a difficult time, and it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch Manchester United completely fall apart every single game. I mean, it's talking there like he's got like the training, this helps him. Obviously his family has just arrived, obviously like he said there jokingly after the game on Boxing Day, which wasn't a good day for Manchester United, and alluding to that it was a good day for his family to come just to perk him up a little bit, because life looks like it has been getting him down at Manchester United, and it does look like it's been a struggle for our man Ruben. And I think the fans can relate to that. They understand what he's saying, and I think it just makes him not so much approachable, not being the right word, but it makes us understand him when he's explaining things. Whereas before with other managers, you look at what Ten Hag was saying, it just looked like he was trying to kid us. Every single press conference, he was telling us something that wasn't real. Ruben Amorim is just laying it out there every single press conference, completely open about his life, about the problems he's had. We know exactly what's gone on with Garnacho and Rashford and problems with inside the football club. It's like there's nothing that we don't know about with Ruben Amorim. And when asked there about, also there was a part in that press conference where he was asked about Liverpool and how he counters Liverpool, and he basically just lays it out. He just says, look, we are covering the basics. The reporter come back to him and said, do you have to have more than just the basics though? I can see where the media are trying to go with him. I can see the corner they're trying to push him into. They want him to snap at something, and he keeps shutting them down every time. And it's brilliant to watch and brilliant to listen to in how he handles the media, because when they say, look, you need more than this for Liverpool, you need to have more of a plan, he says, well, what's the point in having a plan if you can't produce the basics anyway? If you can't do the basics in football, then all of your ideas just fall by the wayside. There's no point in even thinking about them. If you get the basics right, then you will have more time to work on the finer plan, which is dealing with Liverpool. And he did say in there like he's had a couple of days dealing with basic stuff, what the players need to be doing, and he feels good about it. And then he went into the fact that we've got one more training day now where we are going to be fully focused on Liverpool. So I actually feel like we are going to see more of a Manchester United plan. We are going to see more of Ruben Amorim's ideas in this game. I don't think United are going to be as... I pray that I'm wrong. I pray that I'm right on this, but I don't think we're going to see the weak-centred Manchester United which we have seen over the last few games for the football team. Honestly, I feel like what Ruben was saying there is bang on the money. It's like they are doing stupid things. I mean, you've all seen... Like, let's just look at two players. And this is what, without trying to mention the players, you can see exactly what Ruben Amorim's doing here. The game against Newcastle, prime example of his leaders, or what he said were leaders, in the first part of this press conference that went out on Friday, letting him down. Not so much saying letting him down, but saying he needs more from them. When saying that he triggered the contract for Harry Maguire, he needs to be better. He needs to do more. He needs to be a better leader. He can see the mentality within Harry Maguire, but he can see that his confidence is shot to shit, basically. And it's the same with every other player. Can you have that mental strength on the pitch as well as being that leader in the dressing room? Harry Maguire makes a butt-gusting run with the ball 50 yards up the pitch and then passes it out of play. Funnily enough, passes it straight to Ruben Amorim. And Ruben Amorim at that moment must be thinking, what the actual F has just happened? Why has a player passed it to me off the pitch? And like, there's listening to the manager's instructions, and then there's listening to the manager's instructions, isn't there? That's taking it to the extreme. So Harry Maguire there, very experienced, into his 30s, highly paid player at Manchester United, former captain, we all know, leader, you would class him as. For them reasons alone. Performance and quality, debatable, and obviously we've argued that out many a times before, irrelevant to what we're talking about right now. Casemiro's next on that list, a leader, and you look at some of the things that Casemiro was doing in that Newcastle game. For instance, when Kobbie Mainoo played him in, and then I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he was doing shot-wise. He then turns to Kobbie Mainoo and starts berating him, saying, "What was that pass all about?" I'm sorry, Casemiro. There was nothing wrong with what Kobbie did. Everyone in the stadium could see it, and everyone was scratching their head as to what you were actually doing with that ball. Then there's another moment past that where Casemiro was about 30 yards out, and he blasts the ball into the away end. Now, if you've been to Old Trafford and watched the game, you know where the away end sits. It's on the it's on the east-south quadrant, and where the corner flag is. And when I say the ball hits the away fans, yes, I didn't know if it was a cross or a shot. It was impossible to hit it and score from there, but he did it anyway. And these are the basics I think Ruben Amorim is talking about within his press conference here. This is what I think he's doing. It's like the decision-making within this team and individual errors are just beyond belief. Lisandro Martinez at the centre-back. We've seen the issues that he's had. The Bournemouth game, nightmare. The Spurs game, nightmare. Certain decisions that have big implications on a game. And Ruben Amorim knows he hasn't got the goals he needs right now. He knows that he hasn't got the team he needs to play his style of football. So when he talks about the basics in press conference, when he goes on to this honestly, like some of the media, like seriously, get a grip of yourselves. Like, he's clearly explaining to you what the problem is. If you've not watched Manchester United, these headline hunting journalists right now, I'm just like, what is even the point of that question? Like, seriously. Like, he's explained everything to you beforehand as to what is happening. The basics are his players not being able to pass the ball 10 yards. The basics are his players knowing what to do when they lose the ball. Doing simple things like this, and then you can maybe bring that plan in. But when you've got your most senior players at the football club, one, who can't be asked training, two, who I've just explained there on the pitch, that inexplicably are doing things that no player who is worth his weight in gold would actually try and pull off. Honestly, this is where Ruben is at, and I think this is what he's explaining right now. And this is why I think he said in that bit there and in that clip, like, this is why it's hard. This is why it's hard right now. It's hard to deal with these defeats because he can do all the work that he wants. He can look after all of the players like he is doing. And let's not forget, the injury record is a lot better right now, isn't it, with Ruben Amorim? It's a lot better. So let's look at these big positives that Ruben Amorim is bringing to Manchester United. Fully get behind him. And I feel like because he's the way he is and he's open and he lays it all out, I just feel like we can actually we can actually feel this with him. We can feel part of it, and we can relate to him so much better than what we've had before. And this was the big issue that I had and why I never liked Erik ten Hag. Eventually, he just turned completely into the excuse master. I don't think we're going to get it with Ruben Amorim. Obviously, time will tell, and he's still fresh, and it's probably easy for me to say that it's easy backing Ruben and it's easy to understand what he's saying because he's not really had his chance to bring his players in yet. But that's the point right there again. Give him his chance to bring his players in and let's see what he can do with his plan, because it's clear that he is not going to change his plan and ideas and how he wants to play. And if the players cannot cope with it, then they will be, like we've discussed at the top of this show, walking out of that door. And big decisions will be made. You have got an ownership model and a coaching setup now which is fully on side with each other, an understanding of what they want. And that, for me, is the most important thing in all of this. 500 live likes. I'm going to come to the comment section right now. Super chat in from Tushar. Thank you. It was a nightmare for United, not Zirkzee. I think Zirkzee had a bit of a nightmare, mate, to be honest. But, yeah. Maguire deserved the extra year. Surely, with current performances of others and options, can't begrudge him that. Other areas to address and spend money on, says James. I think even with the Maguire situation and the contract extension, look, we've been there, we've talked about it, we've said everything that needs to be said about this with Maguire. Look, it was a decision on a player. They may even just sell in the summer. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. But they weren't willing to give a 30-plus-year-old an extra 2 years. So 1 more year at 190. And let's not forget, he isn't on 190 a week because he's been subsidised 25% because United are not even in the Champions League. So I think they've looked at that and gone, yeah, it's best just to trigger it right now. Because we're going to be losing Evans, we're going to be losing Lindelof, and obviously we have got other areas of the pitch that we need to sort out first and foremost. And Maguire is all right as backup or part of the 4 centre-backs that we've got right now. I think that's how we look at it. We move on. That news is done and dusted. Maguire's not even worth talking about right now unless he scores a goal, then we'll talk about it. If he does something bad, then we'll talk about that. But in terms of his deal, it's done. Deal with it. Meanwhile, Sancho tearing it up with Parma. No one in 4 for Chelsea, though. Enjoy writing. I get what he's saying. I'll just counteract it with saying that Chelsea haven't won in 4 either now. I've got to do what I can just to try and make myself feel better, mate. Thanks for the super chat, buddy. Let's just see what else we've got. Worst team United have had in the last 42 years I've been alive. That's from Steve. Bab says, just looked out the window. Snow really deep here in Stockport. It is bad everywhere. It is shocking everywhere. If you have just joined the show, we did do a little bit of an update at the start of the show, just so you've got an idea of what Manchester actually looks like right now. That's my view. That's what I've seen this morning. Yep, we've got I think an inch and a half, maybe a couple inches of snow on the roads in Manchester. Apparently it is worse in Liverpool. Liverpool and Manchester runways at the airports closed this morning for hours. So whether that's going to have caused a problem or whether that's going to tempt the authorities into just saying, look, are we just going to call this off? There is a very, very serious chance that this game will be called off today. And like I said before, we are going to keep you updated and everything and updated and posted on everything that's going on news-wise on the game today. But I feel like it's going to come down. Like we know right now, it doesn't matter about the pitches. Them days of seeing snow ploughed up at the side of the pitches, we know that pitches can handle it. We know the stadium inside should be fine. It's the travel. It's the conditions in. And if the councils and Premier League and authorities think that it is danger to people travelling and there's no need for people to be on the road trying to get to a game or a certain kickoff time, then they will call it. And unfortunately, we will have to sit out our weekend of no football. Some people saying that that's not a bad thing in the way United are playing at the moment, and that we will get extra training time with Ruben Amorim, and we won't. We'd probably be better not playing Liverpool right now. I don't know. Honestly, I'd rather get the game played. I never want to miss a game. I was really looking forward to, and I'm still looking forward to. I don't want to say it in past tense like it's actually been called off already. But I was actually looking forward to seeing how Ruben set this team up today, having had a few more days training. So I was sort of like not anxious, but like excited, like anticipating what was to come in the game with Liverpool today, and that's what I wanted to. That's what I wanted to be talking about more. But I feel like the more I talk about the game, the more I'm going to jinx it, and it's not going to be on. We'll see. Over 500 likes, as I said, 2,500 in the room with us. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you have subscribed to Forever United TV and like the video, everyone. Rachel Brown says, is the game on? It's terrible outside. We're waiting for news. The news will come and we'll bring it to you as soon as we get it. But it isn't looking good for travel right now, and that's the big concern. Are deals actually happening? Are we being strung along? Look, United, in terms of the deals and what we were talking about at the top of the show, everybody, are happening. United are working on all of these deals. It's whether or not we can get the right deal. And like I said, like if this was a January transfer window without Inos involved, I'd have given up already. I would have, because there's no way United could have got anything done with the people that we had working at the football club. Now with Inos and what they've done so far, and evidence of their last transfer window in the summer and deals we didn't think were possible, I won't put anything past Ineos, and I do believe that we have got a good chance, a very good chance of getting some deals done in this January transfer window. Just to keep you updated on everything again, everyone, I'm just going to have a quick look into anything that has broke while we've been talking, just to make sure we haven't missed out on anything. But yes, Manchester United are looking to deal with Joshua Zirkzee and his agent. His agent agreeing with Juventus already, Kia Joorabchian, for a deal. That apparently is good. I think that apparently is moving forward very quickly. Joshua Zirkzee is happy on that deal. Malacia is wanted, but that might not be happening until the end of the window, based on what Manchester United do. Of Malacia going to Juventus. And of course United are working on Osimhen, trying to get that deal over the line. They're working on him and trying to make a deal happen where they will have to subsidise probably Rashford's wages if he goes the other way. If Rashford doesn't go to Napoli, United are looking to try and make a deal where they can bring down that release clause price of 62 million on Victor Osimhen. And that's the idea of it. They don't want to pay 62 million, as you wouldn't. But how much room they've got to negotiate is questionable right now. It's like, you want Osimhen, you're not willing to pay the money. Like Napoli, United, no favours. I said before, we've done a good deal with McTominay for him, but they're going to look to benefit themselves. Like, how United can get that price down, I don't know. The only way that I could think it would happen is if Marcus Rashford went the other way. And we did something along them lines, either on loan with taking a big chunk of his wages off him, and we get a decent price for Osimhen, or there is some form of swap deal, because Conte does want Marcus Rashford, he likes him, but look, time will tell on that one. But they're the 3 deals at the moment. Just looking into some reports on the snow. Liverpool, there's actually someone put a video up on Twitter right now. Driving through Liverpool at the moment, you can't see in front of your face. The roads look an absolute nightmare. Why have there been no gritters? They're literally outside of Anfield and there's snow all over the road. Like, seriously? Why are the gritters not out? What is wrong with the councils in the Northwest? It's like they don't want the game to go ahead. I'm just watching the video now, and it's a guy outside of Liverpool and Anfield driving around, and it is just, there's snow everywhere. That isn't... If it's like that and this isn't cleared up in the next few hours, this game is not going ahead. That video alone there tells me that this is done. It's not happening. Definitely not. But we will see. We'll keep you updated. Don't forget, we are live on Football Talks very soon as well with the paper round. We're going to be going through all of the paper headlines and everything going on around the Premier League. We may get updates on the Liverpool game and whether it is on or not while we are live on there. Stay tuned to Forever United TV on Twitter as well. We'll keep you updated on that one. Everyone as well. But get your comments in. Talk to me right now. Liverpool Council can't find anyone who wants a job. I'm not going into that. At 21 Highland is not finished article. People must understand that. No, he's not. Definitely not. I agree with playing him as a false 9 as we did against Fulham. In our first match, we dominated that much, but just couldn't score. As in Bruno Fernandes, I think people are talking about there, maybe, possibly. Quitters just came out. We had weather warning 12 hours ago, and the Gritters are out right now. Lovely. Yeah, I'm just checking everyone's reports on this one. I'm not answering that one, Irish. Irish viewing. No, definitely not. Stanzim says they should make the decision ASAP because fans will travel to Anfield, says Stanzim. Yep, they should. I think it is going to come. It is going to come. It's going to be, I reckon, around about 10 o'clock we will know more on what is going on with the game today. Let's see what else we've got in there as well. A bit of snow and panic. Gotta love this country. It's always been the same, hasn't it, Block? It's always been the same. And yeah, unfortunately, I don't know is the answer right now. And hopefully, the news and the announcement has come out before anybody has set off travelling, because it looks dicey out there. It looks very dicey out there. Nicky's saying there that it's 12 o'clock, an update on the game, so 4.5 hours before. I think they have to have something said before, at least 3 hours before kickoff. So let's just say, I think there will be rumours and murmurings coming out as to what is actually going on before that time. But anything official, I think, needs to come quite quickly for people. Let's see. Not a drop of snow where I live. Hasn't snowed in 12 years. I don't know where you are though, mate. You could be anywhere across the planet. Adam, can you edit the standing table and put United at the top of the league just for a few minutes so I can remember what it feels like? Yeah. No. Is the answer to that one. It'll hurt too much. I said last night when if you want to feel bad, if you want to feel good and bad at the same time, go and watch the Ferguson documentary on the BBC iPlayer. That's what you need to do. Okay, I think that will wrap it up. I will be over on Football Talks straight after this. Just stay in the room here with us. Stay around in the chat, everybody. We'll keep it going. And then you'll be taken across to Football Talks Live. And there we'll hopefully have some updates as to what is actually going on with everything around the game as it goes on. We may not, but we're going to go through all of the other Premier League news. All that's left for me to say is thank you everybody for tuning in. That is your update done. Everything you need to know about Manchester United. If anything else does come out, we'll be over it. We do have the warm-up show coming up later on as well, around about midday. So stay tuned for that one. But for now, we are crossing over to Football Talks. We'll be live very, very soon there. So get into the chat in that one. And I will see you all over there. And be safe, everyone. I'll see you in a bit. Cheers, mods. Cheers, members. Thank you for all the contributions. I love you all. I'll see you in a bit. Let's see if this game actually does go ahead.